All right, welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I am Tommy Z, joined as always by my partner here, Johnny Bravo. We had a week off. We had a nice card, UFC 303. Not the prettiest card to come back to after the week off. Johnny, any thoughts, pre-thoughts coming into this card? How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, had a crazy 303 was pretty good. Um, yeah, and then we had a week off. We had to watch two old men box, which was horrendous. And now we're back here for this dog water card. But a lot of question marks here. A lot of question marks. And it's at elevation too, in Colorado. So these guys that you might not think might gas. You know, because I mean, we've seen it in that PFL card a few weeks back that every fighter was just cooked. Like it was crazy. So
and there's some gassers on this card, just a regular elevation. So yeah, we're gonna see some people gassing out for sure on this one. All right, we'll jump right into it with the first fight of the night that just got booked not that long ago, just a few days ago. We have a welterweight bout between Evan Elder and Darius Flowers. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I didn't really have too much time to dive into this one because it was announced kind of late. I think I found out last night or something this fight was going. So haven't really had too much time to look into it. Elder, I think, is decent on the feet. I think he's a decent fighter. He had a good fight against Zadiakov, and then he beat up Gennaro Valdez for 3 rounds. Darius Flowers, pretty much no cardio, 1 round of cardio. I mean, decent power in his hands. Not a very good wrestler. So yeah, the line says it's Elder. It's probably Elder by KO.
Yep, I'm pretty high on Elder. I didn't see the odds before I broke it down. I thought maybe it would be a little bit closer just because
minus 425.
Yeah, neither guy. I mean, Elder hasn't had a ton of success at the UFC level, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, first fight was a short notice fight, and it was up a weight class.
Well, he was winning. He was winning that fight.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad showing
stoppage
by any stretch. Yeah, and then he had the cut stoppage. So it's like he was definitely winning that fight. He was up, I think, on all the judges' scorecards. So kid's good. He's got good striking. He's got good power. He looks to wrestle. He seems like he's got a solid wrestling base. We haven't seen a ton of it, but against a guy in Flowers who really can't stop a takedown, or at least looks like he can't. And I think he's kind of an early round fighter at elevation. Yeah, I think Elder rolls in this one for sure. It's tough to get on that money line, but yeah. I mean,
I don't even see really any props. I mean, fight doesn't go as minus 175.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
130.
As Flowers fades, I could see Elder getting him out of there, maybe with a submission. I mean, Flowers has been submitted 5 times in his career, so there's probably a path there. If Elder gets that wrestling going, we're at elevation.
Yeah, looking at this, I like the under 2.5.
What's that price?
Minus 130.
Yeah, not a bad look. And again, like Flowers, he's still dangerous early.
Though.
He can throw bombs early, and he could catch Elder. There's no doubt about it. But I think overall,
you gotta think he's gonna know he has 5 minutes, and he's just gonna go balls to the wall in round 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's probably what's gonna be the case. And Elder's just got to look to duck under and get to the legs and get him to the ground. And I don't think it'll be that difficult for him to do. So I think Elder's the play. I do like the under 2.5. Depending on the price, I guess maybe a sprinkle on Elder submission, but I guess we'll see what that comes back at. All right. Our next fight is in the middleweight division, again, not a lot of, can't be too confident in either one of these guys. We've got Josh Fremd, who's, to me, seems more like a regional fighter, taking on Petrosky, who's very strong, good grappling, good power, does tend to fade a little bit. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm not a big fan of Petrosky. I mean, looks like he only has like probably a round and a half of cardio, and then he looks to just totally just dump. But I mean, he pushes through. I mean, he has power in his hands. I mean, the striking's okay. It's nothing too great. I mean, good wrestling. But I don't know. The chin is what's really concerning to me. I mean, you get knocked out. You shoot for a takedown, and you get knocked out from a guy's hip. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
And then the fight before that, he gets starched by Michel Pereira. So maybe the chin is just gone. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then Fremd. I mean, I'm not high on Fremd. I don't think he's great. But I think if this can get later, who knows? And it's at elevation, so Petrosky already has not great cardio, so he might just totally be cooked in round 3. I could see Fremd knocking him out in like round 2 or 3 if he can survive. And then maybe like a Petrosky round 1, and then Fremd 2 or 3. But yeah, I don't have much. I think Fremd probably gets him out of there. Would be the pick, but I'm not with a lot of confidence here.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the early success with Petrosky. I think he could get him down, potentially find a submission. Not a big Fremd guy. He just does. I mean, that Jamie Pickett fight, I thought that was a pretty easy win for him, on paper, and it was tougher than it really had to be. And if Jamie Pickett had any kind of back-taking skills, he could have gotten him out of there. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think Petrosky could potentially take the back and choke him out. But again, like you said, like after the first round, he could be completely gassed. And, Fremd does seem to have better cardio of the two for sure. So yeah, I could see a live bet opportunity here, especially if Petrosky gets off to a good start. But yeah, my official pick is Petrosky, but yeah, it's one of those ones we're going to want to take a close look at live.
Yeah, this is going to be. I think this is going to be an interesting card for live betting opportunities and spots.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a ton of live opportunities because, like you said, people that you wouldn't expect to gas are going to gas. It's going to happen. There's no two ways about it. So yeah, this is a definite. This fight will definitely be a live betting opportunity, I would think. All right, our next fight is. This is we have 2 gas cans here. Women's flyweight bout. We've got Luana Santos taking on Maria Agapova. Agapova starts fast. She's dangerous. Good striking. Santos, pretty good grappling, judo base. Both tend to fade out a bit. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I don't think either one of these girls are any good. But obviously, I don't know what to make of Agapova. I mean, she hasn't looked great in the octagon, and then I mean, she's got decent striking, decent, the little pop in her hands, but I mean, she can't stop the takedown.
Right.
She can just. I mean, I could see Santos just. I mean, Santos. I mean, she's no world beater, but I mean, she should be able to get this fight to the ground and pretty much have her way. I mean, pretty much when Agapova's on her back, there's like nothing to offer. So it's no get up game, no nothing. So she's pretty much stuck down there. And then all the stuff we're hearing about Agapova and her, her being homeless and all kinds of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if it's true or not, but just stuff you hear, yeah, she's already got bad cardio too. We're at elevation here. I mean, I don't know how is she like taking it serious, or is she just here to grab a check real quick? I don't know. I think Santos, the way I would probably want to look at it, maybe Santos sub 2 or 3, probably get a good number on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not running to put either one of these girls, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't think Santos is going to struggle too much to get this fight to the ground. And when she's on the ground, she should have her way. Obviously, if she does struggle a bit and Agapova, scrambles and makes it ugly, I could see both of them being completely cooked going into round 2, and then it could be anybody's fight. But in a fight like this, I have to side with the grappler. I think Santos shouldn't struggle too much to get the takedowns, and when she does get the takedown, she should be doing damage or looking for submissions. So I think she's the side here. But again, two bad fighters. Well, I don't know if they're two bad fighters. I don't think Agapova is very good. I'm not sure what Santos is for yet. I mean, she's still relatively new, but I think both of them have big time question marks. I just think Santos grappling is a pretty big difference maker in this one. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. This should be a fun one. We've got Montel Jackson taking on Damon Blackshear. Jackson's got some pretty good power. Blackshear, really good grappling. Pretty well rounded. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one I'm looking forward to this one. This is it's going to be a good one. Yeah, Blackshear, good wrestling. Decent submissions on the ground. He has that twister choke, which was pretty nuts. I mean, his striking is decent. Good volume. But another one, cardio issues, kind of getting later into the fight and fading. And we're at elevation, which, short notice fight. He wasn't scheduled to have a fight, I don't think. And, Jackson's been in a full camp. Jackson, I mean, good striking. His problem, though, is kind of if you could take him down. But you could take him down, but the problem is holding him down. I like his get up. He's able to get up decently, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's got power in his hands, and he what does he have? Like maybe 10 knockdowns in the UFC. So he's got power in his hands, and initially I thought it would be on Blackshear, but thinking about it, I think they might, if he could stay on his feet and say, I mean, Blackshear's putting up good volume and he pops him and drops him, he's going to steal that round, So
yeah,
I'm going to have to pick Jackson here, and Jackson to get the job done, probably by decision.
Yeah, I think if Jackson does win this fight, it's probably by decision. I'm leaning Blackshear here. I think there's some solid value with him being an underdog. I think if he does get his grappling going and he does get some good control, obviously that's his path. If it's on the feet, it could. Jackson does have some pretty big power, so he could catch him with something big. And Jackson's good. He is well rounded too. I mean, he can be taken down and controlled, but he scrambles pretty well, and he does keep himself safe for the most part. So, like you said, I mean, short notice that could come into play, obviously, especially at elevation. I think Blackshear's really good. I think he's got a lot of upside, and I think I like the dog shot here. I do think it's going to be close. I think the overs in this fight are probably pretty live, because I don't think Jackson's ever been finished. I don't think either guy's ever been finished. I could be wrong, but I don't. So I mean, that's we're looking at two guys pretty similar size. Could be a lot of grappling. I can definitely see an over in this fight. but I am going to side with Blackshear here as the dog to get it done. All right, our next fight is in the women's flyweight division. We have Fatima Klein making her UFC debut, taking on Jasmine Jasdavicius. Jasdavicius, pretty strong wrestler, striking to be desired. Klein looks like she's got some pretty good striking. She does have good grappling. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is another interesting one here. Another short notice. Jasdavicius is supposed to fight Arujo, and then she dropped out, and this girl Klein steps in. I'm like, who the fuck is this girl? So I went and looked at the tape, and I'm like, dang, she's pretty skilled, you know. Aaron Blanchfield's girlfriend, trains out of Jersey, good wrestling, decent, great, pretty much great all around. I mean, I think she could be something in the UFC if she just, you know, depending on the matchups here. But I don't know, Jasmine. I mean, Jasmine is a hard fighter kind of to pick for me. I mean, the striking is pretty much just wild and has nothing to offer on the feet. But she is tough. She will stand there. She will bang. She's fucking huge. So my concern here is Klein going to be able to consistently get her down, you know? And I don't know. It was because in the Tracy Cortez didn't even shoot a takedown in that fight. So maybe I don't know. I think Jasmine's pretty in the. I don't know. I think Jasmine's takedown defense is pretty good. So I'm gonna have to pick Jasmine here. But yeah, I could see this fight going either way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Klein does look like she has the goods. But, I mean, her takedowns are good. She did struggle to keep down a pretty low-level opponent a couple fights ago. She still won the fight, and she was able to find the finish late. But she had a short-notice opponent. Did not look like she was in great shape. And Klein kept landing takedowns, but that girl kept getting up. So I think if she struggled to keep that girl down, I think it's going to be tough to get Jasmine down. First of all, Jasmine is a good wrestler herself. So I think that's going to be tough. And, you know, short notice, elevation, a lot of grappling with a pretty strong grappler, pretty good sized grappler. I think there's a lot of value here on Jasmine. You know, obviously she's got the UFC experience. That plays a pretty big factor. We see a lot of these fighters who are talented come into the UFC, make their debut, and they just kind of lay an egg. And not saying that's what's going to happen here, but that's what I'm hoping for at least. I think Jasmine's live in this spot. I think the experience, the strength, the wrestling, I think that'll be enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, at the number, I mean, it's gotta be Jasmine, right? I mean,
yeah,
minus 120 against the unproven girl on short notice. I mean, if she comes in here and just fucking grapple fucks Jasmine, I would be impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if that was the way. I mean, honestly, I think if she were to win, it would probably be because she puts a good pace on the feet. She does have good striking. Jasmine will take shots. She's not afraid to get hit. Her striking's not great. She usually can walk through punches and wear people down just by going forward. So if Klein can kind of keep her on the back foot and land some volume, I think she's live in that aspect too. But yeah, I just think
because Jasmine's striking is not all that.
Yeah, it's not the best. But I just
see this being a split though. Split might be live here.
I mean, I could definitely see this one's probably going all 3 rounds. I would think. Split would be live. But yeah, I just think Jasmine's the side here. All right, our next fight is I think this is our last prelim bout. Flyweight bout, we've got Joshua Van taking on Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson has always been tough for me. He's in every fight he's in. He's had some bad decisions go against him, but he's capable. And Joshua Van, the kid looks like the real deal. He comes forward, puts on a good pace, seems to have a really well-rounded skill set. He's going to be at a size disadvantage in this one. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm a big Joshua Van guy. I'm a big fan of this kid. I mean, I like the combinations. I like the speed. I like the cardio, the volume. I mean, I think this kid can be pretty good. Just has to work on his takedown defense a little bit, and I think he has potential. Charles Johnson kind of just a guy I can never get right. Like I back this guy, and he fucks me, and then I fade him, and he fucks me. So yeah, I mean, I guess
He's tough.
he's tough to get a gauge on. I mean, he's a good. I mean, he's a decent all around fighter, but yeah, I think Josh is just going to be able to put the pressure on late in the fight and eventually just put the volume on him and be able to just out. I mean, I think Van's a way better striker, but I think it could be close if Johnson can mix in some takedowns. But I think if this is on the feet, it's Van all day. Um, yeah, I was looking at like a Van round 3 decision, which is something I don't mind at all.
Yeah, I like Van here too. Like I said, I like the pace. I know Johnson's never been finished, but I do think there's an outside shot that Van could land something big and get him out of there. He does dip his head into punches, Johnson does, quite frequently, and Van does have some pretty decent power. Obviously,
Especially in round 3 when he's just walking forward, throwing volume.
Yeah, he puts a good pace on, which is I always favor a fighter that fights with high pace. Johnson fights with high pace too. I mean, yeah, I just think Van, he's got the clean strikes. I can see him catching him with something, landing a knockdown or two, even if he doesn't take him out. I think he could have the bigger moments. Johnson is he's tough. He's a problem for a lot of guys. He does get taken down a lot, but even when he gets taken down, he does tend to scramble pretty well. So he's always a tough out. His volume's pretty decent. He's got good size, which makes everything tough. But yeah, I like Van here. I think he's the cleaner striker of the two. He can push that pace. If he pushes it late into round 3, I think it could be a solid play. So Josh Van here for me. Which now that brings us to our main card, which doesn't get a whole hell of a lot better than the prelims. We've got Abdul Razak Al-Hassan taking down Cody Brundage in a middleweight bout. Neither guy really known for cardio. Al-Hassan, big power, especially early in fights. Brundage, pretty good power, strong grappler, tends to fade. Both guys tend to fade. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Cody Brundage. I don't think he's very good. I think he's got one move, and that's pulling Gilly. That's it. He might pull Gilly here 10 times in this fight.
Right.
I mean, he's got power in his hands, but I mean, the striking is not very good. I don't see him implementing a wrestling game plan and being able to take down Hassan. I mean, Hassan, he's pretty strong and pretty hard to take down. So I don't think that's going to be in the game plan. I think if you stand and bang with this guy, you're going to sleep. So, yeah, this is pretty clear for me. This is a Hassan KO 1 or 2. Pretty cut and clear.
Yeah, I don't have a strong take on this fight either way. Brundage is just one of those guys where I could see him coming out and landing something big, getting a takedown, getting control, and doing some damage, which he's done to a lot of guys, and it still doesn't always work out in his favor. But yeah, I don't know how to approach this fight. This feels like an under spot, and it's just one of those fights where I think it's going to go under for sure, and then somehow these two both gas out, and it's an ugly 3-round fight. So I don't really know what to do with this fight. I think if you're betting either guy, I don't know. The first round finish is probably live on both sides, but I don't think either guy's very good. I'm gonna lean Brundage, just because I think if he does start to get some takedowns, it's gonna be easier as the fight goes on. But not a ton of confidence in this one. It seems like an underfight, but again, I could see both guys just gassing out, and it's just an ugly 3-round decision. And so I don't know. I just don't know how I would play this fight. So as of right now, I probably won't do anything with it.
Yeah, I'll sound for me.
All right, our next fight is this one's a little bit better, a little more interesting. We've got Julian Erosa taking on Christian Rodriguez, featherweight bout. Rodriguez has bounced back and forth from bantamweight and featherweight. He kind of has trouble making the bantamweight limit. Erosa, pretty chinny. He pulls wins out of his ass quite frequently, but you never really know what you're going to get with him. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think Rosa's chin is pretty much cooked. I think the durability is questionable. I mean, he pulls those wins out against, he's getting knocked out by Alex Caceres, and he's getting finished by these guys that don't normally finish. I'm just not high on Erosa. C-Rod, I'm high on. He's a good upcoming kid. I've tried to fade him. He's got me before. Yeah. The Bulgarian fight, the Rosas fight. This kid, seemingly, if he can make weight, I think he could be good, he's got cardio, he's got good wrestling, just not very much power in his hands though, which is, but you might not need a lot of power to knock out a Rosa.
Right.
So I don't know. I think this is pretty clear C-Rod for me. Pretty cut and clear. Don't want to be on a Rosa. Think he's washed. So yeah, give me C-Rod.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. C-Rod seems like a guy who knows how to win. Sometimes that's all it really takes against a guy like Erosa. And again, like the power, he might have, he's shown pretty solid power at bantamweight. His power might translate pretty well here at featherweight. He shouldn't have any issues making weight at this weight class. He's not big for the weight class by any stretch. So I don't think weight will be a problem in this one. I think he makes the weight. I think he's just a really well-rounded fighter, and outside of something stupid, which you don't see this kid getting caught with stupid stuff ever. I think he should get the job done here. And our next fight is, let's see here. There we go. So welterweight bout, we've got Gabriel Bonfim taking on Angelosa. Bonfim kind of got brought back to reality a little bit in his last fight. Great start to the fight. Looked like he was going to finish it. Emptied the gas tank trying to find the finish, but he was fighting Nicholas Dalby, who does not quit, and that backfired. But he's taking on Angelosa, who has cardio issues of his own. He takes a lot of damage. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one. We've seen Bonfim. pretty much a round one guy where he's like fucking Super Saiyan in that first round where he's just, I mean, he's giving you all he could got. He's got good power in his hand, good striking, good submissions, great submissions. Likes to pull that ghillie. He locks it in pretty often. But yeah, questions about his cardio where, I mean, he faced resistance in that Dalby fight and just, I mean, looked like he pretty much 10-8'd Dalby in round one and then was winning round two. And then after 2 minutes, he just completely was just gone, had nothing left. Yeah, and I didn't like what I saw out of Lusa in the last fight against Battle. Yeah, that was just a really bad look. I was on Lusa in that fight, and yeah, that was a really, really bad look. I mean, you pretty much quit. So I think it's probably Bonfim inside the distance. Bonfim rounds 1, round 2. Yeah, but then again, this could be also another live betting opportunity where if Lusa maybe could survive round 1 and, you know, we're at elevation, so maybe that cardio might go quicker for Bonfim. But yeah, I think Bonfim probably gets it done inside the distance, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I think, honestly, I think that the Dalby fight might have been a bit of a learning experience for him. I think he maybe thought he was untouchable, and he ran into a guy who's been at this level for a long time and who is a really tough out when you really break it down. We just saw that recently with Dalby. Another he had a great performance in a loss, but still a good performance. Yeah, Losa, I mean, it did seem like he was looking for a way out in that last fight. And then as soon as the fight gets finished, then he wants to fight, which is not a great sign. If you really wanted to fight that bad, you would have just held on for a little bit, took a little bit more time, and then, you know, got back into the fight. So that's a weird look. And he did not look good in that fight either. I mean, looked like Battle had his number that night. So yeah, I think Bonfim, if he's, you know, his explosive self, he can definitely get him out of there. And honestly, I don't think either guy's cardio is very good. We saw Losa fade against Reese McKee. Reese McKee put it on him late.
Yeah.
AJ Fletcher almost got him out of there in the, I think, was it late second round maybe, or third round of that fight. So it's not like you can count on Losa to have great cardio. Obviously, good live betting spot. We can see, you know, which guy's holding up. But yeah, I think Bonfim gets it done. I think he probably finds a finish. I would think more than likely a submission, but yeah, I think Bonfim finds a finish at some point in this one. All right, our next fight is in the lightweight division. We have Drew Dober taking on Gene Silva. And if that name looks familiar, it's because he just fought 2 weeks ago. Silva just had a KO knockout. Was it KO? I believe KO. On 303. You know, the guy looks pretty good. He was at one point a bantamweight. He's now a featherweight, fighting up at lightweight. So we'll see how that plays out. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. I don't know what to think here. This line smells kind of fishy to me. You know, we know Dober. He's he's got great power in his hands, can knock anybody out. You know, but another thing was a big attribute of his was his like pretty much his steel chin, where, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the durability of kind of, I don't know, that, you know, it's that chin has got cracked. For Vola, I mean, cracked that chin, and then, you know, he fought Ricky Glenn, which was, I mean, just a warm body. And then, you know, the Moicano fight, he didn't look too great in the Moicano fight. I don't know, to me. Yeah, this is kind of a tough one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I would say he did. Moicano was pretty desperate to get takedowns late in that fight. He did land some pretty good shots on Moicano.
Yeah, and this guy Gene Silva seems to be like a fucking maniac, one of these fucking madmen.
Yeah.
Missed weight in this fight. Now he's coming over here in short notice. I think this is going to be two guys. This is going to be stand in the middle and swing and bang.
Yep.
I like unders here, and I'm going to have to go with Gene Silva to catch that chin and just have that power.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Silva does look like he's got legit power, and if Dober's chin is truly starting to break, this would obviously be a fight where we find that out. But I don't know, man. It's close, tough. Dober is a tough out. He's proven to be a tough out for years. It's tough. I'm leaning Dober, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a real weird fight. Like, why isn't this line bigger? Like, it opened up minus 160 and people hammered it down. This guy's coming in on short notice, moving up a weight class. The line doesn't make any sense. Like, it smells fishy. Like, I think, man, I don't know. It just seems like a weird one. It seems too good to be true to get Dober at minus 110.
Yeah, and it's tough too because if you fade him, and then he just comes through.
Yeah, he could easily put him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been easy money. But it's like, I don't know. It could also go the other way where Gene Silva. I mean, he's got power. He's a finisher. I mean,
yeah.
These guys are going to stand in the pocket, man.
Our guy Keg in the chat, he thinks the chin thing's overblown, which, it could be. I mean, Dober historically has been extremely durable. He still may be that guy. Silva, he was a bantamweight at one point. So how much does the power translate, especially against a guy
who barely make bantamweight? He missed weight by like what?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think here now he really doesn't have to cut too much weight. Short notice. Dober isn't the biggest 155er.
Yeah. I mean, and Silva, obviously he's just come off of a fight, so it's not like he's out of shape taking this fight on short notice.
Silva's out of a good camp too. The Fighting Nerds. I mean, I like that camp.
Those guys
are solid.
Hot lately. So it's a tough one. I'm right now. I'm leaning Dober. I haven't placed a bet. I don't know. I do honestly. I think if either guy wins, it probably is by finish. Well, obviously somebody's going to win if it's not a draw. But I think both guys are live for a finish in this one. Be interested to see if Dober decides to wrestle. Silva does seem like he can be taken down. So not that Dober wrestles a lot, but we've seen it in the past. He does have some wrestling. Interesting fight. I'm going to lean Dober just because this is his weight class. He's fought some of the best guys in the weight class. I confidence-wise, it's a tough one. So we'll move on. This next fight is just terrible. I can't believe this is the co-main event. We've got Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on Muslim Salikov. Welterweight fight. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, two dusty old men that, I mean, I don't want to back either one of these guys. I mean, Salikov seems like his chin is gone. He's just has like, I mean, I guess he's got decent power, but he's got no cardio. Ponzinibbio, I mean, he's looked terrible in his last couple of fights. I mean, I think the chin is gone. I don't know what old man to pick here.
Right.
I'm thinking probably Ponzinibbio can outlast him and maybe catch him. Ponzinibbio KO. What number is that? Yeah, plus 165. I mean, that would probably be the only thing. Maybe what's the under? Yeah, minus 115, under 2.5. Yeah, this one is. It's gonna. Yeah, I've got no confidence here. I don't know what to expect from either one of these guys. They're both washed to me. Yeah, so it's probably Ponzinibbio KO, or I don't know. Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the Ponzinibbio side here as well. Salikov is just his volume's not very good. At least Ponzinibbio puts up some kind of volume. Yeah, I mean, Salikov, what is he, 40, 41 years old? Hasn't looked good. Got coming off a brutal knockout. Yeah, I've got to roll Ponzinibbio here. I just, I mean, again, no confidence in it. He hasn't looked good himself.
No.
Even in the fight against Morono, where he won.
Morono was beating the
late.
shit out of him for 2
Yeah.
rounds, and Morono was walking to a victory and fucking got stupid, got caught, and put away.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like Ponzinibbio here. It's a terrible fight. I can't believe it's the co-main. I don't think I'll put anything on it. Why would I? But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're playing DraftKings, even DraftKings, you don't want to play Ponzinibbio because you're probably looking at 80 significant strikes, and maybe you get a knockout finish or something like that. But
I think
yeah,
Salikov's chin is pretty dusty.
yeah, I mean that would be where it paid off. But other than that, I mean, if it goes 3 rounds, neither guy's scoring very well. So I guess on DK you could hope for a knockout, but yeah, I just confidence wise, I'm not there. All right, that brings us to our main event. I can't get this full screen, but we'll pull it up anyway. We've got Rose Namajunas taking on Tracy Cortez. Cortez coming in as a replacement fighter. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Cortez coming in on short notice. She had a fight booked next week though against Maverick, so it's not really short notice.
Right.
Rose, this is pretty much her hometown where she trains, where she lives in Colorado, trains at altitude. I mean, I think, I think there's going to be probably a big cardio advantage here. I mean, Cortez has never gone 5, so we don't really know how she's going to look deep into the fight. I mean, she's got the good 3-round cardio, but how is she going to look in rounds 4 and 5?
Right.
Especially at altitude, Yeah, and I've seen kind of Cortez kind of fall in love with her hands, kind of like not really going to the grappling as much. I don't know. Yeah, and I think Rose is just her anti-grappling, her get-ups, her scrambles, they're pretty good, and on the feet, it's not even close. Initially, I thought I would be on Cortez because of the grappling advantage, but like in her last couple of fights, she hasn't really implemented the grappling too much. So, yeah, the pick is going to be Rose here. Rose probably by decision, maybe late finish. Yeah, I like Rose. I'll be on Rose.
Yeah, I like Rose as well. Cortez, she does have pretty good cardio, but again, this is a 5-round fight. She did fade a little bit in the 3rd round against Jasdavicius. So, obviously Rose can put a pretty solid pace up. I just feel like Rose has been here, done that, and this is a pretty good spot for her. I think even if Cortez does grapple, I think Rose, she keeps herself safe. She scrambles pretty well, and I think this is a good spot for Rose. Basically, hometown fight. She's trains at this elevation. She should. I think she finds a way to get it done. I did find it interesting though. The plus 5.5 for Cortez was like minus 130. I don't mind that as a parlay piece. I think Cortez can find a couple of rounds in there where she can win. And again, if she makes this fight close, you could get a split decision here, even if it's completely one way for Rose. You always get that one judge that goes the opposite way. So, So I think the plus 5.5 is live. Even as a little parlay piece, just to boost up something. I think that's pretty live. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it probably goes all 5 rounds. So yeah, that's it. I just want to pull up if I can find it here. I'm all out of sorts. Our weekend schedule. We're going to be live all weekend from Friday night on. Excuse me. We've got the trucks race. We'll be live 5:30. That will be that's going to be live on YouTube. Then Saturday we've got starting at 3. We've got the Xfinity Series Explore the Pocono Mountains 225. Again, that's going to be live. That's going to be a free show, and then we'll be live for all Saturday night through the night for the UFC card. So obviously, if you're watching this, you'll probably be watching that as well. And then Sunday, we've got our Patreon show starting at 2:30. The Great American Gateway 400, that'll be live, and that will be for Patreon members only. So we got a lot of content this weekend. 2 free YouTube shows. Get in the Discord. Got a free Discord. Any questions you have, we're available. Keg's available. Anybody who gives out plays, Coop, Johnny, Matt, Holden, all those guys. So join the Discord, and that's about it.
Yep.
All right. I'm just trying to. And then, of course, tomorrow night, never mind. Never mind. We got the truck race, so don't ignore that. All right. So that'll be it for us. We will be live starting 5:30 tomorrow night. And I guess until next time, for Johnny, I'm Tommy. We're out.
Laters.